Okay, so what we're looking at here is the AeXpressions NotePad UI, and I'm assuming you have installed and obviously you've launched it from the Windows menu. So before we dock this, I want you to resize so you have a good idea what's in the UI, so that after you dock it, nothing gets cut off in the UI. Right, so I'm going to dock it here on the right. Lots of space here, so you're going to drag it to the right. It's about there. And now everything that you should see in the UI is what you see here. Okay, so this is a quick walkthrough. The first thing you should do after installation is this: click on the settings button and select a folder where the script can store its settings files. So the script works with settings files, which allows it to reload the previous session's JSON files. And I'll jump here quickly. So you can import a single custom JSON or a set of JSONs which you store in a folder, and all of them will be loaded into the drop menu and they'll be available here. If you haven't read the documentation, your JSON files or custom JSON files that you want to be loaded into the drop menu, the name must start with a number followed by an underscore and then followed by the name of the custom JSON that you provide. So drop these into a folder, click on this guy, and you'll get the same thing that you see here. You'll get a folder selection, and that's it. So when you first launch, dock it, set your settings folder here so that the script knows where to save the files and where to read it the next time it launches. And then also set your Autoload folder for all your custom JSONs to be available here. All right, that's that. So very quickly, one of the first things you probably do is to load your or to create your own custom JSON files. Now the help document file, the PDF, contains quite good information on how to use a large language model such as ChatGPT or Claude or even Grok 3 to use it to help you create custom JSONs structured so that the custom JSONs are compatible for use with the AeXpressions NotePad. Okay, so I'm gonna select this layer, hit double E. Actually, I prefer this layer. Alright, so it's got double E displays all the expressions. So you can select an expression at a time in your timeline, select a tab, and then click on the copy expression button. And then the name will be changed based on the property that you copied from. And if you notice, the expression that was here is now in the tabs expression editor. This little thing you see here, that's your status message. It tells you what you just did. All right, now what's nice here is you've got the project file and also the date and time that you copied this expression into the script UI. And then you've got composition and layer names. And the last item you see is the property that you copied the expression from. So this is good because sometimes you've got expressions but you're not sure which property you're supposed to drop it into when you want to apply it. So this little item here is really good and useful. And then below that comes your expressions or your expression code. So you can make changes here, edit it as you normally would. Okay, now to rename the tab, you hold down a modifier key, any one, so control, command, alt, option, or command, and then double click, and you can rename your tab. All right, now you see the underscore here? Underscore is an indicator that you have not saved your JSON or updated the JSON. So that's why we see an underscore. So shortly we'll look at saving the custom JSON here. And just quickly, you would use the export tab. So I'll cover this shortly. Now you can copy and paste it. See that? And you can undo. Now this undo is different from the After Effects Control Z undo, because the undo here also works with the expression editor, whereas the After Effects undo doesn't work with what happens inside of this script UI. So keep that in mind. Now I'm going to select all the expressions or all the properties with expressions here. Then before you click on copy expressions, make sure you select the target tab. Okay, and then so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 expressions here, and then I'm going to click copy. So as you can see, each property or each property with an expression has been copied into its own tab, and each tab, by now you would know, has its own expression. Right? So I'm going to undo because I want to show you this option, copy to one tab. So again, always select your target tab and then click copy. So right now all the expressions are saved into a single tab, and each expression is separated by this guy, and each expression copied will include the same details, right? The project name, date, time, and then composition name, layer name, and also right up to the property that was copied. All right, I'm gonna undo this. Now what's nice also is, assume I pick this as my target and I've selected 6 properties with expressions to copy into the script UI, and this is unselected. So if I selected this, I've got 2 empty slots before this guy. This guy has an expression. Now if you did this, I want you to see what happens. The script is intelligent enough not to overwrite this guy. So I'm going to click copy. As you can see, it filled this, it filled this. It saw that this had details or information. It skipped that, so it doesn't overwrite. So it's pretty cool, right? Now, you can copy as I've shown you, and then paste it somewhere else. You can also paste it into, so you can load 2 JSON, custom JSON files, right? So you can copy from one to the other. So this is how you organize and control. This is how you organize your custom JSON files, and it's easy to set up your um, again, the underscore at the front is a visual indicator by the script to tell you, hey, you haven't saved your custom JSON. And it's very critical, because if you don't save your JSON using this or this, the next time you restart, this isn't going to be around. It will not be saved. Alrighty? Because there's no automatic save feature when you exit After Effects, or if you were to exit the script without saving. Now, this is grayed out because none of the current um, custom JSON slots has been loaded, so they've not been saved. So That's why this is grayed out. Now, to save your first custom JSON using the script UI, you will click on the Export tab. That sends you here. And over here, this returns you to your main UI. Now, you can switch between your two custom JSON sets before you export, just so you can see them and just before you confirm. So you can export to JSON, text file, and CSV. So JSON is the only file format that can be imported into the AeXpressions NotePad UI. Text files are good because they're readable and you can use it for safekeeping, for long-term safekeeping, or sharing it with someone who doesn't have the script. And then CSV is if you store your expressions into a spreadsheet. Again, you know, the script allows for 24. You may want to store your thousands of expressions into a single spreadsheet. That's what that's for. And then you can export and re-import accordingly. So this saves into a new file and then it imports in immediately. So for now, since this is the first time you're saving it, I suggest you use this option. All right, I'm not going to click it because I don't want to show my operating system's folder structure. But you would click here, pick a folder, and then select a name. Okay, so I'm going to pause. Okay, so I've done the export and re-import, and over here is also the task message or the status message, and it says I committed an export and re-import and it was completed, and this is the file name that I saved my custom JSON to. So I'm gonna return. Now I'm gonna come here and then I'm gonna export, and this time I'm gonna click the same thing. So I'm gonna pause. Okay, so I've just completed my export and re-import of the local imported tab data. Remember, one is for the drop menu and one is with this guy. So when you save, if you have a list of custom JSONs in your drop menu, each time you save, you're only saving that one specific drop menu that has been loaded. So I'm going to return. Now we're going to load the expression. So this one came in automatically. This one needs the autoloader to be set. So I'm going to click here. So I'm back here. I've clicked here and then selected my autoloader folder. And when I come here, I will see automatically the script has loaded the expressions that I just exported using the export and import JSON tab. So now I've quickly shown you this. Now we'll look at cut tab data, and it's just like your normal After Effects. Yeah, it cuts it, removes this guy. Yeah, so it removes the tab name, and then the tab name as you see reverts to the default tab name. Okay, then I can paste it here in the same custom JSON, or I can go to a new custom JSON. Oh, so notice this name here, and if I try to load the same JSON into the local JSON slot or the drop menu slot, you're gonna get a script alert that you can't load the same JSON here under local or under drop menu. So that's good safekeeping, because if you have the same JSON loaded twice under different settings, things will just mess up. You're going to get corrupted files and probably crash After Effects. So anyway, so we copied that, select our target, and then do a paste. Okay, and as you see, even after you paste, you've got this underscore here. It's a visual indicator that you've not saved this custom JSON. So just click here, and the underscore at the front is removed, so you know it's updated. So clear tab just clears the selected tab. I'm going to come here. Let's copy some stuff. Copy, come here, paste, come back here. Whoops. Let's copy this guy. Paste, save, and then so a clear tab just does that. Boom. All right, and it's gone. Of course, you can undo, and then you can redo. Right, so it's pretty nice to have. Now, so we're pretty much done here. We've looked at this. We've looked at this and this. Help is pretty good. So lots of options. Your end user license agreement, um, it's there, but the one that's in the PDF is an updated version. So keep that in mind. And then you've got some other pieces of information here that you may want to get, but the PDF is of course better. But this one's pretty useful also. Now, clear all tabs, as the name implies, clears everything. All right, so I'm gonna undo. And if I was here, if I clear all tabs, notice what it does. It also removes that JSON, the custom JSON that was loaded. I'm gonna undo, so it brings it back. So that's that. Now, next we're gonna apply our expression. So before I proceed, I want you to pause the video and I want you to load the JSON for the source text. All right. So go to the folder source text. It has some expressions notepad. The folder name has expressions notepad, and then it says source text. All right. Now, if you go into that folder, you will be able to load the JSON for the source text, the custom JSON. And then I also want you to open the After Effects project file in that same folder. So each custom JSON that you received as part of your purchase or as part of this package contains an After Effects project file and the JSON. It's not necessary to have the After Effects project file. The reason why I put it there is to provide examples or use cases for the JSONs that come with the custom JSON. All right. So I'm going to pause. Okay, I'm back and I've loaded the JSON. So this is the JSON that I was talking about. So it starts off with the number, then B gems, short for broadcast gems, expressions NP short for notepad, and then source text. All right. So I've loaded that up. I've also got my source text.aep. Like I said, you will want to load them together because over here I've got samples or examples of how these expressions here are used. So you can see the first one here, exp1, type up with cursor. So before you apply this, you probably want to see what it looks like, and that's the reason why I've supplied the composition. Okay, so there's a type on, but instead of scrolling down or letters appearing below, they scroll up. And select the layer and display the effect controls because most, I think all of them should have, all the expressions here should have at least one or more expression controls for you to use to control the expression. Right. Yeah, and then specific to source text.aep and a few of the other folders will also have AEPs. Some will have additional folders. Like this one, as you can see, it's got some additional folders, subfolders, this and this. Now, I'm not going to cover all of these because it's going to take too long. We're already at the almost 20-minute mark. So all these will be covered separately, but I suggest these are very, very powerful stuff. Maybe I'll just show you one. Or let's do this. All right, so select this, F3 to open up the effect controls, and then let's do a preview. All right, so this is text reflow. What is text reflow? Well, you can dynamically adjust the width. Sometimes things don't work, so you just need to finesse or make minor adjustments there. All right, and then this one has animation duration, so it starts at your endpoint. Well, it doesn't, eh? Yeah, so this one doesn't. It expects you to start at time 0, so that's not ideal, but unfortunately that's the way it is. Okay, so that's the effect. But there are other options there. Um, some do glitches, a few are just basic. Okay, so you can move it about, you can adjust the whoops, you can adjust the width. Alright, you can keyframe it interestingly, but I doubt you're gonna do that. So everything's adjustable. So what's important now is to understand that you have additional stuff here. Um, this one's interesting. Again, select it, come up here. So this is the dynamic anchor point. So what it does is this, I want you to pay attention to where the anchor point is. If I move my text down here, notice the anchor point changes. And what's great about this is that if I add a new line, notice it intelligently moves upwards. And if I place it here, notice now it moves downwards. All right, so this is useful if you're creating templates for your clients. And please don't forget the licensing agreement. You're not supposed to sell templates made from this product, so derivatives are not allowed. And I hope you understand that, because that's pretty standard. Because otherwise, I'll have a user buying this product or my product and then selling it for half the price, which is ridiculous. So anytime you purchase assets such as this, you may be unfamiliar with purchasing asset which is expression based, but it is an asset. There's IP in there, and it's to prevent someone, like I said, from buying my product and selling it for half price. So use cases is for one client at a time. Of course, you can create something super nice and use it for multiple clients because it's so beautiful. But you can only sell it to one client at a time, yeah, or price it as part of your overall project for one client at a time. So you can't put it on a web page or marketplace, or even on your own web page where many people can buy the same product, right? So it's just for projects. Any issues, questions, concerns, or if you want to build templates, let me know first, obviously, so you don't infringe on the IP and licensing issues, because I sell templates also, not as often or many as I would like, but if you're very good, you think you're productive, maybe we can work together. Right, so that's that. Um, we have to apply the expression now. So I'm gonna double click, sorry, not that one, this one. I'm gonna grab the text from this guy and then come up here. So I'm gonna apply this. So when I select a tab, I get to see its expression here in the expressions editor. And like I said, what's nice is this tells you where this expression should go. So I'm gonna hit W, select the property, and then click on apply tab expressions. Now, ensure this is on because sometimes I have special code, alright? And what's special is when I apply this expression, it's also going to apply the expression control. So I'll have a separate video for this so that you know how to type, and it looks complex or difficult, but it's not, because the first part stays the same, the last part stays the same, only here that you change, whether it's a slider, a checkbox, a layer control, you just type layer, is it a point control, color control, all right? So it's very, very simple actually. And then the only tricky part is you need to put 2 forward slashes. So they're part of a comment, a JavaScript comment. And then after the 2 forward slashes, 2 vertical pipes, followed by a V and the equal sign and the value. So before you apply, make sure this is enabled, because if your script, sorry, if your expression has this inline command, it will apply the expression. Okay. Now I'm going to undo. If you deselect this and the expression has this inline command and you apply, you're going to get an error in your expression, because that means you did not apply the expression controls, but the expression is looking for the expression control. Right, so I'm going to remove the expression and then come back here and enable it, and then apply the expression now, and now it works. So this one uses typing completion instead of duration. So you start from 0, keyframe it, click on the stopwatch, and then set it to 100. Set the out point for the work area, and that's how it works. Okay, now there's an option here that says add as marker. So sometimes sometimes you may already have an expression here, but you're not too sure whether you want to use this guy or you want to use this new expression. So you can move your timeline indicator to where you want to create a marker with this expression in there. It's going to look a bit awkward. Um, so I'm going to click on this guy, and then so it gets pasted up here. Only issue is, remember, the expression that's pasted here is the exact expression here. So if you copy and paste, take note that it's expecting the expression controls to be there. Okay, and if you applied it this way as a marker and you later copy and paste it into the expression here, and you did not have this expression controls, you're going to get an error. Now, very quickly, we're going to go to time utilities now, or timeline utilities. So you can select an expression and clear it. So it's gone. As you can see there. We're going to undo. You can toggle, so temporarily disable the expression, and it works both ways. So now it's disabled. I'm gonna click on that again, and now it becomes enabled. And then we've got this option here that says expression to marker. Select your property and then click expression to marker. So this option sends the expression here to a marker. This button here sends this expression to a marker. So why would you do that? Well, in case you're going to come in here, you're going to make some edits, you're going to try this, try that, and then you decide, oh, damn, it's not going to work, or it sucks. So what marker to expression does is it grabs the content of this guy and then drops it into this. So it's the reverse. This sends the property expression to the marker. This sends the marker, whatever is in there. The script doesn't know it's got an expression or not, right? So ensure that it's an expression and then click on this button and it will copy the content of this marker into the selected property. And then last option is this one. It swaps these two guys, the contents from here into the marker, and then from the marker to here, the property. Okay, so that's your quick introduction. Now there are lots and lots of you got 6 custom JSONs, and within each, like I said, you have you've got your additional compositions for you to look at, and then you're going to build your own, also your own custom JSONs. So I figure these things for you to get familiar with what they do is going to take you quite a fair bit of time. The text selector expressions are very interesting. The animation helpers are also interesting. Unfortunately, and also obviously, I did not have a lot of time to produce very nice examples, but they're very, very powerful. Quite a few of them provide you with new insights, new ideas, how to use expressions, how to apply expressions. So explore them and have fun, and then drop me an email if you need some help. I may also do a free or paid lesson online, very cost effective because you've already purchased, but then also for me to prepare time and set up some good examples and also show you how to expand the use of these expressions using a large language model, where I can teach you how to do much better, more productive prompt engineering, so you can even create some of your own effects starting from what's here, okay, but also fresh new ones, your own ideas that you may want to drop into a large language model to create your own effects. All right, cheers, bye bye.